What if I told you that our weather soon is gonna regularly look as bad as this? And if we don't do something about this soon, those 10 cities are gonna end up underwater. At number 10, we have a city that's already struggling with rising waters, Venice. Described by many as the most beautiful or most romantic city in the world, it is definitely one of a kind, with its gorgeous canals flowing through all of its historic city center. With new technologies, Venice managed to stop the floods for now, but if the waters rise by a few meters more, who knows if the city of water is going to survive. At number 9 is the largest city of Ecuador, Guayaquil. Located at the west bank of Guayas River and nearby the Gulf of Guayaquil, it is already facing tsunami and earthquake threats constantly. This equatorial city that attracts thousands of tourists with its food, surfing and incredible nightlife is also located on a weak and compressible soil, which makes it even more endangered by the rising sea levels. Make sure to check it out before it's too late. At number 8 is the biggest city of Louisiana, New Orleans. Completely surrounded by water with 4 huge lakes, Mississippi River and the Gulf of Mexico around it, 65% of its metropolitan area is at or below the sea level. As it's a very frequent target of hurricanes, it floods very often, and with both New York and Miami being way more important for the USA, New Orleans is not going to get the help that it needs to stay afloat. Don't miss out on its food and jazz clubs, as in a few decades there might not be a lot to see there. Number 7. Dakar. The capital of Senegal, with more than 1 million people living within the main city borders, is mostly known for being the finish point of the Dakar Rally for many years. However, it offers way more upon visiting, ranging from historical colonial Medina quarter, through Grand Mosque of Dakar, up to multiple international festivals taking place in the city. Being surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and only slightly elevated over the sea level, it also faces severe danger in the upcoming years. Moving to number 6, here we have the so-called Pearl of the Black Sea, Odessa of Ukraine. Being one of the most important tourism centers, seaport and transport hub of the country, its sinking would create major problems for Ukraine. But until it happens, it is definitely worth the visit, with stunning Black Sea beaches, wonderful theaters and museums, as well as therapeutic resorts. Make sure you're faster than the climate change. At number 5 is the biggest city of Bangladesh, Dhaka. Almost 9 million people live there on elevation around only 4 meters above the sea level. You know, it's not that high. In fact, the whole country of Bangladesh is sitting very low and is densely populated, making it one of the biggest risk areas of rising sea levels. Book your flight tickets now to witness amazing Mangal Shabayata, the mass procession celebrating Bengali New Year, and to see some amazing architecture like, for example, Aksan Manzil, and to try a delicious Morocco pulao. Number 4. Shanghai. With both Yangtze and Huangpu River ending at its northern part and a population of almost 25 million people, the city of Shanghai lies mostly on the elevation of only 4 meters above the sea levels. Its port is the busiest container port in the world, so flooding of the city would severely damage the world transport and trade. Originally a fishing village, Shanghai became a symbol of the booming economy of China, and as a symbol, it has a lot to offer for a visitor, with Luyazui skyline, city god temple, and overall a vibrant international feeling. The third place on the podium belongs to Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia. It is the world's second most populous urban area after Tokyo, with about 35 million people, while around 10 million of those live in the city itself. This culturally and religiously diverse city hosts as many as 142 museums. It's a home to multiple Betavi, Chinese or Javanese festivals, and with an elevation of only 8 meters above the sea level, it's one of the top go-to places in the following years. Second place on the list goes to the fabulous city of Alexandria. The third largest city in Egypt used to be the home of Lighthouse of Alexandria, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Now it houses the Biblioteca Alexandrina, which is based on the once existing Royal Library of Alexandria, that used to be the largest library in the world. With over 5 million people living in Alexandria and an elevation of only 5 meters over the sea level, now is a great time to visit this ancient city before it's too late. I was lucky enough to visit one of the aforementioned 9 places, Venice. I've been living in Italy for quite some time and I've been to Venice more than once, more than twice. It's a gorgeous city. Like the other cities on my list, I plan to visit in the following years as long as it's possible. Now with COVID restrictions and basically traveling being not as cheap to the faraway places. But right now, right here, I wanted to do an honorable mention list. However, there's so many cities that are endangered by flooding in the following years, like the rising sea levels, that I just decided to leave my top 10 list of the places be and just... Now I'm gonna show you my top place to visit. So, finally, number 1. The crown on my list goes to the capital and the largest city of Argentina, Buenos Aires. Located on the shore of Rio de la Plata, with rich history and culture strongly influenced by Europe, Buenos Aires has the busiest live theater industry in Latin America. Outstanding architecture, thriving art culture, vibrant nightlife, and of course the Argentine tango place this city at the top of my personal list of cities to visit before they drown. The idea of creating a top 10 cities to visit before they flood list came to me and my friends as a joke. I had a trip to Pyrenees this summer. It's the mountain range on the border between Spain and France. We were walking the mountains for almost 2 weeks with our backpacks, and that's where the idea of creating a YouTube channel came to me. And we are talking about some ideas that we can bring into life in this YouTube channel. And really, we had a lot of laugh with this list. It's kind of a parody of all the lists, top 10 place to visit here or there. But this list may sound funny, when you look about it at face value. But once you realize the gravity of the situation that we're in, that those people, especially living in those places, are in, it's not funny anymore. So about 60 million people live in those cities alone. And those are just 10 cities, don't forget that. There's a ton of cities, towns and villages in which a lot of people live, in which a lot of people have family members in. And unless we do something, unless we create a massive change in our government, then those people will need to run away from those places, fearing for their lives. Many of those people will die, due to lack of water, lack of food, lack of shelter, political conflicts, many due to flooding itself. Like the thing is, like, one person can't change it. Like, it's nice if you buy a electric car. It's nice if you turn off the lights when you go out of your house. But the only way to truly change it is by protesting, by showing governments that we care about it, that the lives of those people can be saved if we just put profit as, like, you know, not the first thing, but the second thing after human life and like the rights of a person to live. I hope we can overcome this hurdle. And I believe we can. We're in the power to do that. Like, humanity has done better things than that. So I hope you believe in it too. And we just need to fight for it, guys. So thanks for watching, and until later.